Nick Saban quietly dominates coaching's financial kingdom in retirement, outpacing Deion Sanders and Bill Belichick in net worth. When Nick Saban walked off the field at the end of the 2023 college football season, it marked the end of an era. One of the most successful and respected figures in college football history had finally hung up the whistle. But while the stadium lights dimmed on Saban's coaching career, one thing continued to shine with unmatched brilliance: his bank account. In the competitive world of football coaching, where wins are currency and legacies are forged in championship banners, no one has amassed financial dominance quite like Nick Saban. Even in retirement, the legendary Alabama coach continues to rule the sport, not from the sidelines, but from atop its financial summit. As of 2025, Saban's net worth is estimated at a staggering $80 million, placing him ahead of two of the most prominent and high-profile names in football today, Deion Sanders and Bill Belichick. And what's more astonishing is that he's managed to maintain this lead even after stepping away from active coaching. The legacy of a champion. To understand how Nick Saban became the financial titan of football, one must first revisit his unrivaled coaching legacy. After successful stints at Michigan State and LSU, where he led the Tigers to a national championship in 2003, Saban took over at Alabama in 2007. What followed was arguably the most dominant era in college football history. Under Saban, Alabama claimed 6 national championships, produced dozens of NFL draft picks, and maintained a culture of excellence that became the envy of every collegiate program in the country. His relentless attention to detail, unparalleled recruiting skills, and commitment to discipline earned him both accolades and paychecks. By the time he announced his retirement in January 2024, Saban had earned more than $130 million in salary and bonuses at Alabama alone. But unlike many of his peers, Saban didn't rely solely on coaching contracts to build his empire. Beyond the gridiron, a businessman in disguise. While Saban's football resume is legendary, his off-the-field acumen is equally impressive. Alongside his wife, Terry, Saban ventured into the world of business with a strategic mindset and a knack for smart investments. One of his most lucrative ventures has been co-ownership of Dream Motor Group, a luxury automobile dealership specializing in Mercedes-Benz vehicles. With locations spread across multiple states, the franchise has become a quiet cash cow for the retired coach. It's a textbook example of how Saban applied the same discipline from the football field to the business world: research, execution, and long-term planning. Moreover, Saban has also earned substantial income from book deals, speaking engagements, and appearances. He continues to be a sought-after figure at corporate events and leadership conferences, where his insights on building successful organizations resonate far beyond football. The Coach Prime Effect. Deion Sanders' meteoric rise. If there's anyone who's come close to challenging Saban's dominance, at least in public attention, it's Deion Sanders. Known affectionately as Coach Prime, Sanders has taken the college football world by storm since accepting the head coaching position at Jackson State in 2020 and later making headlines with his high-profile transition to the University of Colorado. With charisma, camera-ready confidence, and a social media-savvy team, including his son, Darius "Bucky" Sanders, who manages much of his branding and digital content, Deion has turned coaching into an entertainment spectacle, and it's paying off. In 2025, Sanders inked a 5-year contract extension worth $54 million, a deal that solidifies him as one of the highest-paid coaches in college football today. However, even with this impressive contract, his current net worth hovers around $60 million, trailing Saban by a sizable $20 million. But Sanders' wealth portfolio is not to be underestimated. A former two-sport pro athlete who excelled in both the NFL and MLB, he amassed nearly $60 million in career earnings before even entering the coaching world. Since then, he has expanded his financial empire through endorsements, apparel lines, real estate, and lucrative partnerships. Prime Properties. Deion's real estate empire. A major contributor to Sanders' net worth is his impressive collection of properties spread across the United States. Among them is his well-publicized Texas estate in Prosper, a colossal 29,229 square foot mansion situated on 5,000 acres of prime land that features lakes, private trails, and enough room for multiple residences. The estate was recently listed for $5.5 million, catching the attention of real estate moguls and sports fans alike. He also maintains properties in Canton, Mississippi, and Colorado, reflecting both his roots and current coaching base. These aren't just homes. They are tangible symbols of Primetime's brand, a mix of flash, flair, and functionality. Enter the hooded genius, Bill Belichick's rebirth. As the curtain fell on his storied NFL career with the New England Patriots, Bill Belichick did what no one expected. He re-entered the coaching scene not in the pros, but in college. In a surprising move that rocked the sports world in early 2025, Belichick accepted the head coaching role at the University of North Carolina Tar Heels, signing a 5-year, $50 million contract. It marked his first public coaching deal since the mysterious and often undisclosed contracts with the Patriots. With 6 Super Bowl rings and a reputation for tactical genius, Belichick's name still carries immense weight in football circles. His transition to college football has sparked curiosity and skepticism about how his no-nonsense NFL demeanor would translate to a younger, nil-fueled generation of athletes. Financially, Belichick holds his own in the coaching elite with an estimated net worth of $70 million. A major portion of that fortune comes from his long tenure with the Patriots, supplemented by investments in real estate, particularly in Massachusetts where he owns multiple properties, including several on Shell Street, one of the state's more exclusive neighborhoods. What sets Saban apart? So what makes Nick Saban the undisputed financial king among coaches? The answer lies in a potent mix of timing, strategic planning, and the ability to capitalize on every opportunity. While Sanders and Belichick may still be active and climbing the ranks, Saban had the foresight to diversify his income streams early, long before nil deals and influencer branding became commonplace. Moreover, Saban's tenure at Alabama coincided with an era of explosive media rights deals, championship bonuses, and recruiting dominance that turned Tuscaloosa into the epicenter of college football. He also avoided high-profile controversies, maintained a clean image, and built a reputation that made him attractive to corporate sponsors and business ventures. Saban was not just a coach. He was a CEO in a headset, running Alabama's program with the precision of a Fortune 500 company. Influence beyond dollars. While the focus here is net worth, the legacies of these coaches go far beyond finances. Saban created a football dynasty that will be studied and revered for decades. Sanders is redefining what it means to be a modern coach, blending entertainment, empowerment, and education. Belichick is on the cusp of reinventing himself yet again, proving that greatness evolves, but never fades. These 3 men represent different eras, styles, and philosophies, but they share one thing in common: an unyielding commitment to excellence, whether on the field, in the locker room, or on the balance sheet. The final score. In the high-stakes game of football coaching, where fame, legacy, and wealth are always on the line, Nick Saban has done what few can claim. He's walked away at the top, both in accolades and in assets. His journey serves as a blueprint not only for future coaches, but also for athletes and professionals across all industries. Retirements will come, sidelines will change, but smart decisions, discipline, and long-term vision, those never go out of style. So while Deion Sanders builds his empire and Bill Belichick writes his next chapter, Nick Saban continues to sit atop the mountain, not with a headset, but with a legacy of leadership, a wallet to match, and a quiet smile that says, "I already won."